how do you address any data privacy concerns with the utilization of AI?
As a marketing agency, we have shifted our focus from third-party data like cookies and everything to first-party data.
What vision do you have with the future?
We are positioning ourselves a growth, a growth partner.
Hello everyone, welcome to Startup Stories India. Today we have with us Mr. Nitin. So I'll just give a quick brief about Nitin. So Nitin's entrepreneurial journey began at a very young age, gaining invaluable business acumen through hands-on experiences in customer interactions and operations. With a background in engineering, he merged business fundamentals with innovative ideas in processes and SaaS to establish XorLabs. So it's basically a role marketing analysis tool, most thousands MAUs. Meanwhile, XorLabs has successfully solved 200 plus clients, managing over rupees 250 crores and budgets. Nitin's ventures reflects a commitment to innovation, problem solving, and value creation, positioning him as a trusted figure in the marketing and SaaS landscape. How are you, Nitin? It's great to have you on this podcast today.
I'm good. Thanks for the introduction, Devika. Hi, everyone.
Of course. So, the first question that we have to ask you is that with your engineering background, what inspired you to transition into the field of marketing and ultimately establish XorLabs?
So I would say creativity and a love for numbers. Even back in college, uh, we co-founded a club where we used to write, where we used to express ourselves. So that's where we had that passion of writing and being creative. And even from my early days of my childhood, I was always crazy about numbers. So I guess digital marketing space that allows me to be creative and also have a lot of number crunching and data analysis. So that's where I be the right field for me to start, and that's how we thought of starting a marketing agency and then venture into basically a product which is into analytics as well.
Of course. That's great. So, over the past decade, what significant changes have you observed in the marketing industry, and how has Go Labs adapted to these changes?
So I would say digital marketing in its core is a very dynamic field. So if you see that initially when marketing started, especially the digital field, it was more of a thing or more of, I would say, agenda driven drive marketing, where you are having a sales copy which is driven towards product and then prices. But over the years, we have that shifted more from brand communication or a customer engagement standpoint. So I would say that is a significant change. Apart from that, say we have recently witnessing AI is venturing into marketing and helping out marketers a lot. So I would say these are the two fundamental changes I have seen over the last decade or so. And as far as XorLabs is, AI was always a centered point for us. And even in our day-to-day operations today, AI is playing a major role. So we have been pretty, I would say, good at adapting to these changes.
That's great. So, your experience includes founding Visor, a social media analytics tool. How does Visor complement Soul Labs, and how does it leverage its technology within your company's services?
So I'll give you a bit of a background of Basil that why we actually built it. So as I said, that digital marketing is primarily into data is at core of it, and we as an vision as an agency, data driven decision making was the forefront for us. So back in 2019, 2020, we were using a lot of internal tools to help make our decisions, and that we realized that a lot of our clients and other agencies can benefit from this, and we can turn it into a product. So that's how we built Vessel. And as far as helping in XorLab is concerned, every client that we handle today, Vessel is a crucial part for us to analyze their data points and come up with insights that we can use to optimize our campaigns. So in our day-to-day operations, Vessel, I would say, will be play a major role to handle our clientele in XorLabs.
So, by listening to this answer, I believe you're fully, involved and aware of both these startups. So, how do you manage them both altogether?
I would say the secret is to have a great team. So
Agreed.
you cannot manage everything on your own, right? So there's a
Absolutely.
team that looked into it. I have a core team that took care of my day-to-day operations at XorLabs. I have a core team that take care of my tech at Vessel, because being a SaaS tech plays a major role in that area. So I
Of
guess
course.
in the last decade or so, we were quite successful in setting up a great team, and that's been playing a major role in that.
I absolutely agree with you. It's very important to have a trusted and a very pumped up team for them to handle it, so that the person like you can also be fully involved and also help them grow the companies.
Right.
So yes. So regarding the advancements like artificial intelligence, how do you integrate emerging technologies to enhance your marketing capability?
So I would say two things are happening on AI front. First would be, I would say, the efficiency have been improved in with advent of AI, and we have been using it in a couple of, for example, in our data analysis, in our research, in our design, in our copywriting. So I would say we have started implementing AI in the last year or so in multiple fronts, especially on the, because some of our monotonous tasks or some of the tasks which requires a lot of human labor, that has been significantly reduced. So some of the tools, let's say Mid Journey, Delhi, or Chat GPT, that's been now as integral part of our day-to-day operations.
Of
So
course.
it's been there.
So, like listening to this answer, I would love to know that how do you address any data privacy concerns with the utilization of AI?
So I'd say data privacy concerns will be there, and it will fit as more norms will come in. But as a marketing agency, we have shifted our focus from third-party data like cookies and everything to first-party data. Most of our clients, we advise our clients to shift to first-party data, and that's safer way or a better approach to data when it comes to marketing and when it comes to automated campaigns.
Okay. So, as a leader in the marketing, what's your opinion on the rise of artificial intelligence? Because as we see, everything now is dependent on AI completely, fully. Like myself and everyone in our office also uses AI. So it has created a long shift. So how do you think it affects your business or your marketing strategies?
I think it's been great. One thing is there that the efficiency of a team is definitely there. The efficiency will improve. But I also feel that like most some of us say out there that it will the jobs will reduce, or that's
Yes.
out.
Yes.
So I don't believe that, primarily in the marketing field. So what happened is that marketing is a creative medium, right? If ever, then there will be no differentiation.
Of course.
So the idea is, I feel that even if Netflix is there, even if media are there, but the outside park, amusement parks like Disney parks, or the parks we have seen around the world, there the number of visitors have been increased gradually, even after the advent of so many entertainment mediums. So what I'm trying to say, the human touch, the essential human touch will be there, and it's just the efficiency will improve.
Of course, I think I totally agree with you. Even though AI can do so much, that feel and the touch and the thinking that you have from a human is completely different, and it is by other people and the topic more than AI.
Right, right.
So, are you optimistic or cautious about the role of AI? And looking ahead in the future, what are your predictions for the intersection of AI and marketing?
So I would not say cautious. I would say that AI is a medium that we can grow together. So
Yeah.
I mean, kind of trying to fight with it, or we are not. I mean, I'm saying that it will eventually automatically help us, but
Right.
it's a technology that can actually help us grow, and we can grow together. So that's our approach as a company, that how we can use in our different fields. And regarding the prediction, I would say AI will do something that internet has done for us in the past. I mean, say a decade or so. So, I mean, we will see a lot of new startups coming up, lot of new technologies built around AI, so that can transform life in general, society in general, and as well as
Right. I think it's also very essential as to how we use AI, whether it's being put to the right use or not. I hope you agree with that statement.
yeah, I guess that's been true for every product or every technology.
Right.
So
Yeah. Of course.
that's true for AI as well.
Yeah. So, do you see AI becoming an essential partner for all successful marketing strategies in the future?
Definitely. This is something that will be well knitted and well integrated within media plans and within execution. Whenever we need, there are a lot of human labor or human capital involved. There it will come in and improve the efficiency of the whole process or the whole system. So it will be there.
Right. So, what major trends have you observed in the marketing industry, and what shifts do you anticipate in branding and advertising moving forward?
So I think in terms of shifts, as I said that initially digital marketing was more functional. There
Yeah.
used to be this is the product and this is the price and this is the discounting. So a
Right.
lot of marketing is discount driven marketing, or I would say price driven marketing. But I would say 2 to 3 years, that shift has started changing. Now people are no
Right.
more discounting. They want to engage with the brand. They want to understand the brand. So
Right.
that major shift that's been there, and I guess this will again, I mean, go on for a couple of years, and eventually to a point where you can no longer get a customer just saying that we have this much discount. So, and as far as future trend is concerned, so I guess this will go on, and brand needs to be more authentic, more realistic in their communication.
So, according to you, what perception on the current state of the marketing industry, and particularly the B2B industry, what changes are you anticipating in its dynamics over the next decade, for the next 15 years?
So B2B industry, sorry to say, but they are a bit, late to the party. I mean, they're just catching up. But
Right.
we seen actually we are working with a lot of B2B brands to
Yes.
help them, join this transformation or transform their
Right.
digital platforms. So
Right.
there are brands right now we are working where they have a good solid presence in offline, but we are helping them to build the same level of presence on online domain. So B2B is
Right.
going to, I guess, the next big thing, at least as far as India is concerned. And a lot of players have started implementing it. A lot of players have actually realized it. And I guess in the coming years or so, like maybe 5 to 10 years, we will see a B2B companies working in this field and working on their online presence and online sales.
Right. So you exhibit a passion for innovation and growth, and which is very clear and what's very exciting. So, what aspects of the future of marketing and technology excite you the most?
So I would say right now to predict that how the future will look like. To be
Right.
honest, what we can say is it's a very dynamic field. In a year or so, I mean, you have to reinvent yourself as a person, as a company. Otherwise, you will be left behind. So
Right.
what will happen with is that social media will change. We will move of AR or with the advent of other new technologies. That
Yeah.
whole the market will change. But one thing that essentially will be there is that brand connect, that authenticity in your communication, that will increase. No longer play on just vanity metrics of your product. You have to go a bit more deeper with your client communication. So I guess that it will definitely will be there.
And like, how do you envision contributing to your XorLabs in the years to come? Like, what vision do you have with the future?
So going forward with XorLabs, I would say we will transform as the marketing as the market will change, especially with the advent of AI and other technologies. Apart from contributing to whole marketing community, we are a company. We are positioning not positioning ourselves as a marketing agency. We are positioning
Okay.
ourselves a growth a growth partner who will actually help you go one and or maybe 200. So in the future, we are opening up more avenues in terms of that marketing landscape. We see ourselves partnering with brands which are need more help apart from just marketing, maybe on technology side, maybe offline activation. So the idea is to provide a holistic solution to a brand where we can have multiple touch points apart from just handling their digital presence.
So, since we're talking about the future, where do you identify the greatest opportunities for driving efficiency within the marketing industry?
In terms of efficiency, I said that a lot of human labor is still involved in monotonous decisions. So, to give you an example, that we work with a lot of brands where reporting has been done manually, even now. That
Hmm.
person in the morning put up their Excel sheet and start putting up copy pasting numbers. But
Right.
change, right? I mean, it's been changed in a lot of companies, but there are companies still following this route. And so these are the kind of tasks which needs to be automated, which will be automated. So I will say, in terms of efficiency, repeated and monotonous tasks will be the first one that will be automated, and that they should be automated.
So, what are the valuable, like most valuable lessons that you have learned on this journey as an entrepreneur?
Uh, in terms of lesson, I would say persistence. I mean,
Okay.
you cannot really predict market forces. You cannot predict how the market will behave. Capacity, what you do is be persistent at what that's say. I mean, the last couple of years, we have been persistent in what we are at, and that's helped us a lot.
I think it's very important because nowadays so many young people are going on this entrepreneurial journey, and it's great to see that in this industry, or be it any other industry or field. So, according to you, what advice would you give them?
So I said that be a bit. I would say I would see a lot of guys trying their hand. They want everything to be figured out at day zero or day one, but that's not going to happen. You have to start working on it, and as you're working as along your journey, you will figure out the variables. Because I feel entrepreneurship is not for somebody who is afraid of unknowns, right? There will
Hmm.
be some unknowns, there will be some variables, and as an
Right.
business entrepreneur, you have to have that ability to navigate that system. So, if you are looking to start something, first of all, you need to ask yourself that if you can handle that, uncertainty, if you can handle those variables, and if you are, then I guess you should start, and those variables will automatically will be solved along your journey.
But I think like nowadays, like the people, like even generations will only, they're very impatient. They don't have the patience or the zeal to just carry on one thing for a long time. So do you think, or but what would you suggest them as to what they can do to just focus on that one thing and build that brand? Because as you said, that focus is very important. You need to be patient.
Right, right. So I guess it all comes down to how passionate you are for that idea and how much you
Yeah,
want it. If you want,
of
if
course.
you something, and if you are really passionate about it, then I guess you will be persistent at it. And when I say persistent, I don't mean that you should be rigid about it. When I say something is not working, then obviously there is no harm in pivoting. You can pivot and maybe pivot your business model, pivot your offering. But if you truly love something, if you're really passionate about something, then I guess you will automatically be persistent. And it's just you need to find what that something is for you. It can be anything, but you will figure it out maybe in first try, maybe in second try. But eventually, you can only be persistent if you like working what you are working on.
Of course. So, could you just share some key projects or technologies that XorLabs has been involved in?
In terms of technologies, we are actually working with a lot of technologies, especially on the marketing side. So we are in-house products, so where we use most advanced feature like serverless technologies, where we
Okay.
have partnered with Meta, with Google, with
Oh,
LinkedIn,
that's great. Great.
and we fetch their data and process it real time. So it's
Okay.
a state of the art tech that we use there. In terms of services, also we apart from Vazoo, which are in-house tool, we use a lot of other third-party tools for our services as well. So yeah, technology in terms of great, in terms of campaigns, or in terms of projects that we have involved in. So again, I mean, we are fortunate to work with one of, I mean, some of the leading brands in India, whether it is in D2C space, whether it is in
Hmm.
uh, space. So that's been, I would say, we were fortunate enough to have that chance to have them as our clients.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you managed to work with Meta and Google. They are, to be said, the biggest companies in the world right now. So how do you prepare yourself and your team to work with such big clients? And how do you prepare them mentally? And what is your plan of action to work with them?
So I guess, I mean, our involvement with them is on tech front, and I guess
Hmm.
when working with these companies, we have to have a solid tech background or a solid, I would
Right.
say, clear tech leadership who should be handled, who should be able to handle the load that comes with responsibility. So that's been there. I mean, we have I mean, solid CTO, which is also a co-founder in place. Apart from
Okay.
this, the thing is that when you're working with global companies, the compliances are very,
Right.
and they become, you are more aware than me, I guess, when it comes to compliances. But we make sure that every compliance that needs to be followed or that needs to be taken care of, as a company, we
Yeah.
should, and that helps a lot when you're working with these global giants. Sure, sure.
So, could you just tell us about any exciting trends or challenges in the tech industry that XorLab is currently addressing?
So first challenge is that as a country or as a community, we are not data savvy. I mean,
Okay.
obviously, new tech companies have started it, but there are a lot of players that are still adapting to it. So our primary to help those companies transform from part zero to one in this digital space. So open close, that is one. Second, as I mentioned earlier, that we are working with those clients leverage first party data, that you need to invade the privacy of the user, but still you can optimize it, still you can run your campaigns effectively. So these are the two points that major points I would say that we are working on as of now.
So here you talked about being successful, but when you do not get your desired results for an campaign, supposedly, how do you go about it? How do you motivate your team, or how do you get out of that phase and work better on the next project?
Right. So, I mean, in marketing space, that's very common that initially when you set up a result and you are not able to achieve those desired results. So, what we do as is the key is reiterate and
Hmm.
faster execution. To give you an example, with one of the major marketplaces, and within the first 3 months, we launched some 200, 300 campaigns, and in the next 2 days, in the next 48 hours, we realized that these campaigns are not working for us. So
Hmm.
our team quick then, and in the next 24 hours, next one day, we reiterate all those campaigns and come up with new 100 campaigns and with the as a, and you can see that within a frame of 5 days, the team
Hmm.
actually created 300 campaigns and 100 campaign as a replacement. Well, the whole point of this was execution. So I guess that's the key, and that's what we have built so far as a DNA. That if something is not working, change it and change it as soon as possible.
Right, right. Of course. So I think my listeners would love to, know as to what an overview of your biggest challenge which you have been facing in the industry right now.
Okay. The biggest challenge I would say right now
In your particular
is
industry that you are facing right now.
in marketing industry or in other with other brands in general.
Marketing industry.
So the biggest challenge would be, I guess, every marketer would say is the attribution. So
Yeah.
I mean, with the Apple new policies or the new policies that's been coming in place, it's hard. It's getting hard for a marketer to rely on third-party data, and
Yeah.
that's a challenge for every marketer out there, be in India, be it in US. So I mean, every marketer is facing that. But as a company, we are trying to mitigate that by shifting to first-party data.
Hmm. Okay. Well, for the marketing freshers out there, what strategies would you give them about the basic marketing strategies that will definitely help them and gain results?
So I mean, and in marketing strategies, I would say, as I said earlier, I mean, be authentic. If you're
Right.
writing a copy, if you're writing a copy, or if you're designing creatives, be authentic, be as real as possible. Because the current generation, they don't give a damn how good the creative is, but they want to see if the creative is authentic or if you can relate with it. So you need to be more customer centric. You need to uh, for doing that, I guess, then that would be fine with your current marketing framework.
So do you also sometimes take inspiration from other brands?
I guess all the time there have been a couple of brands that I follow regularly, and some of them are really creative. So yeah, we do that. I do that on personal level, and I'm sure that my team also do that as well.
And you believe it is ethical to, take that inspiration from maybe your competitors or other brands?
Definitely. I mean, I don't think there is something called that it was originally my idea, because there are so many ideas in the world. It has to be inspired by someone,
Of
because I
course.
mean it's not possible to come up with the idea that's originally your own and nobody in the world should have thought of it. That that's
Of course.
that's never been.
Of course. So, like, can you share an example of the time when your initiatives and sort of expectations? Here we've talked about failing and failing of a campaign. But if a client is expecting something or if you fall short of that initiative, how do you recover yourself?
So I think I mean it depends upon how short we are. So if we have, let's say, I mean, realistic numbers that we have achieved and the expectations were high. So then I guess the first thing to do is to sit back and see that where we went wrong and what could have done better. So that's been the approach that as a company, that we regroup and we look at our past actions and what all went wrong. So that's the one thing we do, and we do maintain a doc of every project once we
Okay.
get short of learning that what went wrong and what could have been done. So we do that with each other, and we make sure that at least these things will not happen again in any project. That's all we can do from that, and then we move forward to the next challenge we have.
So, do you give any strategic changes that needs to be implemented to your name?
Yeah, I mean, I believe that as a person or as an entrepreneur, I'm very heavy on following SOPs. So how we work, that most of the tasks which we know that this is the path to take, we have a very strong SOPs, and that those are the SOPs that make sure that every campaign should be implemented the way we want to, and every campaign should be designed the way we want it. So we take a lot of time to. I personally take a lot of time to design those SOPs, and our team, our senior team, ensure that those SOPs are followed.
How? That's great. I think it's very important to have a strategic plan and how to strategize everything and then telling it everything to your team.
Yeah, I mean, we circle back to the discussion we have, that a great team is actually something that pulls the a company ahead, because without a great team, you can't do anything. And luckily, I have a great senior team who handles these aspects of my day-to-day operations.
That's great. So I think I've asked everything from you and it's been very clear. Thank you for your answers. Do you have anything else that you would love to share with me and all our listeners?
I think first of all, thanks for inviting me. It has been wonderful talking, and great line of questions as well. The only thing is, as I said in between, that if someone is want to start, I mean, I can only say from my experience that you have to be a bit more stupid. You have to be a bit more open to failure. If you are ready for that, I guess you are well suited for your entrepreneurial journey.
Agreed. Absolutely. Very well said. Thank you, Nitin. It was lovely having you on the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.